What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. I'm the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and I got an NBA 2K20 video for you. It's more of a, I don't want to call it a wish list because that's like an overused term. But what I'm saying is these are the things that I think should be in NBA 2K21's MyTeam. I've played MyTeam this year more than any other mode, even more than my league. And if you know me, then you know that's saying something. So I did write this up and talk about this on heavy.com, but I figured I wanted to bring it to you guys as a video. So let's talk about it. So NBA 2K20's version of MyTeam already has like a bunch of layers, but there's still some really cool concepts that I think could take that mode to an entirely different level. I'm going to focus solely on some of the single player concepts that would offer another fun feature or another bunch of fun features to provide more ways to earn MyTeam points. Now, most of these suggestions, they got something to do with NBA All-Star Weekend. So you're going to understand that I've asked for that mode to come back as a singular mode, but I know that that's probably not likely. But because of what MyTeam is, I think MyTeam is like the perfect mode to bring back NBA All-Star Weekend features. So I got 5 ideas for mini games that would make MyTeam single player experience even better than it already is. And the first one is a 3-point shootout. So you might be like, oh, okay, 3-point shootout. No, listen. In a MyTeam 3-point shootout, you could select any player in your lineup, right, to use in a quick 4-man shootout with 3 CPU-controlled shooters. Now, they could be chosen randomly from the MyTeam whole lineup or roster, similar to the way the game selects triple threat offline opponents for you. So it's just random. You don't know who you're playing until you go into the mode. You can earn a small MT bonus for every 3-pointer that you make, with a little bit extra going for when you hit the money balls. Now, advancing to the finals in this little mini tournament offers a whole separate MT award, and obviously winning the tournament carries another bonus in itself. Now, this could be part of the collector rewards with like a total of 100 first place finishes in these tournaments. In the contest, they could unlock a premium gem version of like an all-time 3-point shooter like Larry Bird, Steph Curry, Tim Legler, Reggie Miller. Did I say that out loud? I meant it. Reggie Miller. This would be like crazy fun and worth the time of MyTeam players because of the rewards and the MT that you could get with it. The second one, I told you it's got a lot to do with All-Star Weekend. What's up on that dunk contest? Dunk contest, I know they are really tricky to do in video games. That whole Guitar Hero controls thing was just really kind of lame. And I think it was too much of a departure from the game's normal mechanic. A MyTeam iteration of the concept could be basically just based on a point system that works more like a situation mode. So players would essentially try to dunk over props and life-size cardboard cutouts of players. Now, this sounds crazy, but just allow release your inhibitions. Not too much, but you know what I mean. Clearing these objects would generate different point values based on the size of the item. So you get more points for dunking over a cardboard cutout at Taco Fall than you would if you jump over Muggsy Bogues. It's just, if you feel what I'm saying. Also, there would be points awarded for the difficulty level of the dunk, because some dunks, it's that you have some advanced dunking, so it's not just simply, all dunks are done the same. It's a little bit different to do each one of these dunks. Again, a CPU controlled dunker could be your competition, and you never know who you're going to be facing. Maybe you might go into one time and you're playing offline against a CPU-controlled J.R. Smith, and he's dunking over all kinds of stuff. And randomly, the CPU could set up what the props are, where he jumps from, so on and so forth. So I think this would be better as a one-on-one thing against the CPU, where you can earn MT, earn awards, and rewards the same way you did in the 3-point shootout. All right, my next one is a skills challenge. There was this tennis series back in the day called Virtual Tennis, and it used to have these mini games that challenge you to do crazy stuff like knock down huge objects with your serve, hit these big bullseyes and all that. And then Gran Turismo was another racing game back in the day. It also had a mode where your objective was to crush all these different varieties of shapes and you got points for knocking these shapes down. Now, these different modes had nothing to do with the core game, but at the end of the day, they were fun and they were like addictive, and you kind of kept going back and doing them. So in NBA 2K21 My Team, I think it would be great to see an obstacle course with several targets set up. So you'd have to use your player to dribble around cones, hit targets with passes, make threes, and to eventually finish the course with a contact dunk through an explodable statue of an NBA 2K great. Now, I know I am going so far away from Sim with these ideas, but in My Team, and when we talk about mini games, it's totally okay to not be Sim in these sort of things. So imagine finishing off. So if you look at the skills challenge in the NBA All-Star Weekend, most of the time the guys finish their little run with a dunk. Now, let's supersize this thing because we're talking about a video game and we're talking about My Team. Imagine if you had to dunk through a Georgie Mursan statue at the end and it like explodes. And come on with me with this. Come on, you can feel me. You can feel me. Now, if you put this whole thing on a timer and then gave the option to do it in split screen while you raced against the clock and a CPU controlled player, this would be another excellent wrinkle to add to the single player My Team experience. Aside from gaining the feel for your players in your collection, because if you're dribbling through these cones, you're now getting a handle on how they dribble, what their dribble moves are, what the behind the backs are. You could ask, the obstacle course could basically mandate that you do certain types of dribbles to get around certain obstacles. So you're learning the dribble moves. You also be able to earn some My Team points for scoring and winning these competitions. I just think it could be fun in multiplayer as well. And just overall, just a nice little diversion and way to earn MT. My next one is called Beat the Clock. Now this one is simple, but still potentially a blast to play. In a game of Beat the Clock, your player would have to score a certain number of points within a designated amount of time. The point values and time limit can vary by player, and you should only get a maximum of 10 attempts to reach whatever the goal is, right? So each week, a new list of players in the My Team mode would be designated as Beat the Clock players. So they have like a BTR on their card. If you have them in your collection, you can then enter a BTC contest. I said BTR, I meant BTC. You enter a BTC contest with the player that would render a reward. If you can complete the BTC challenge with every player each week, you then unlock a bigger reward, so maybe large amounts of tokens, premium gym player, major MT bonus, etc. The whole Beat the Clock players thing could be great, or it could be horrible shooters. So maybe you get a challenge where they're telling you you gotta get 45 points in 30 seconds with Andre Robertson or something, and you only get like a half a point or a point for dunks. So you gotta be able to make threes with him. So we all know how difficult that is because Robertson's not a good three-point shooter, and I could have picked somebody else who's a worse three-point shooter, but you get the idea. The harder the challenge or the worse the shooter, maybe the higher the point value, and you have to do it in a certain amount of time, and you're on maybe a certain kind of difficulty level, which adds to the difficulty, and then you getting these bigger rewards because of what you're being asked to do. So I think this is obviously another opportunity to earn more MT and to have fun in some mini games. I can see some people getting so caught up in these mini games that they haven't even played some of the actual competition because they just have fallen in love with these different individual, separate, smaller games. Now my last one is Horse. So it's a classic one-on-one battle. It's been in 2K before, but not in My Team. Imagine taking your pink diamond Giannis Antetokounmpo and having it compete against a Galaxy Opal Larry Bird card in a game of Horse. So this CPU controlled Bird would do more, that he could do move combinations, double crossovers into a greenlit fadeaway, and you'd have to duplicate the sequence, doing every move over a set time period. So you couldn't take forever to do it. So you have 5 seconds to complete the move. And so depending on the gym level, the harder the combinations. And of course, the button commands could appear on the screen as the CPU player is doing their moves and their shot. So you know exactly, you're seeing what you have to do, but you have to be able to do it, putting in those actual stick commands. A marker could be placed on the court, similar to the way it's used in your My Career drills. So this mini game could not only earn MT and rewards, but it could also teach gamers different dribble and shot animations that they can chain together in other modes of NBA 2K21. So I need you to sit down and really let these concepts marinate on you. These are not conventional concepts, but I'm telling you, if some of this stuff is added to MyTeam, it would be fantastic and it would add a whole nother layer to the way the game is played. So as always, I appreciate you watching. God bless and peace.